This guy decided to fake his own death just to get out of his relationship. But why didn't he get a divorce? Because his wife wanted him dead.
One time we were so in love, and now I have to fake my death so she can get arrested.
And for what possible reason? Money. This is the story of Raymond Sosa and how his own wife hired a hitman to kill him.
It is a case that shocked the Spring community. One of their own accused of hatching a plot to have her husband killed.
Raymond Sosa was a former boxer who owns 2 gyms in Houston, Texas. He met his now ex-wife, Maria Lulu, in a salsa club in Houston in 2007. According to Raymond, she was a wonderful person. She treated him like a king when they were dating. They got married in 2010, but what Raymond thought would be a happy life with his wife would turn out to be his greatest horror. Because 5 years later, his own wife would plot his demise so she could have all of his money and properties. But how did everything end up this way, and how much money was involved? Things were good after their wedding. They handled their gym business together, and it was doing great financially, earning at least $18,000 a month. Eventually, problems started to surface, and the couple decided that it would be better to get divorced. But greed had consumed Lulu. Before they got divorced, she wanted all the money for her. The gym income, Raymond's insurance money, everything Raymond had owned. And the best way for that to happen is if Raymond was gone.
I was beginning to think that she didn't need me anymore, that she wanted it all without me. It was going downhill quick. There was no option but to go get a divorce.
And so Lulu's master plan of eliminating her husband started. In June of 2015, one of Raymond's friends and regular gym goer, Mundo, gave Raymond a call and told him something that would change his life forever, but in the worst way he could ever imagine. Mundo informed Raymond of how he overheard Lulu and her daughter talking about this.
I remember a conversation was taking place about hitmen. What caught my attention was whose name came up.
Did they mention Ramon?
Yes.
Lulu wanted to hire people from Mexico to take out Raymond.
He said, no, I'm serious. I've seen that look in people's eye when they want to kill somebody, and she wants to have you killed.
Raymond informed the police, but unfortunately they couldn't do anything without evidence. That's when Mundo and Raymond worked together. Mundo would meet up with Lulu, and he would secretly record his conversations with her as they talked about how he would execute the plan. Raymond did his part, acting as if he didn't know anything, and lived day by day with Lulu in their house. When they had enough proof, Raymond was able to get help from the police. Lieutenant Mike Atkins was one of the people who helped Raymond in the investigation of Lulu's murder-for-hire plot, and he helped Raymond in planning the trap for Lulu.
At that point, it was decided that we are going to follow through, show her pictures of Mr. Sosa, just to get her reaction. I think it's important when the jury hear the elements of the crime, they also get to know a little bit about the person as well.
An undercover agent who pretended to be the hitman met up with Lulu on July 20th, 2015, where she told him her plan to take out her husband. She gave him jewelry and watches as the down payment to the undercover hitman, all of which belonged to Raymond. She also promised to pay him $2,000 in Raymond's truck after he got the job done.
And then Lulu, out of all things, she said, well, I don't have all the money right now, but when he dies, I can give you the money. He had the life insurance. She already knew how much I was worth after I died. Out of all things, she gave him watches and wedding ring bands and bracelets, my own jewelry as a down payment for my own murder. It's crazy.
To fool Lulu, their next step was to take photos of Raymond dead and in his grave. The police hired makeup artists to create the most realistic gunshot wound on Raymond's temple, and in the middle of nowhere, they dug a shallow grave.
This guy is revisiting the scene of his own murder.
This is the actual grave site.
Raymond lay down in the grave in his underwear, and with his hands tied behind his back as if he's not alive anymore. Then he had his pictures taken. After that, Raymond went into hiding for 3 days. The hitman met up with Lulu again, and he secretly recorded their encounter. When Lulu saw the photos, she was happy. She laughed as she looked at the photos and showed no sign of remorse.
I get upset about how Lulu reacted when the officer showed her the picture of me dead. She started laughing and raising her hands, and I tell people, like, she hit the lotto. This is her big shot.
The police paid Lulu a visit the next day at the gym, asking her about the now missing person, Raymond Sosa. And she was more than happy to answer their questions and acted as if she had no idea where he was. She was immediately arrested.
You're under arrest. Maria Sosa has admitted to the murder-for-hire plot and has learned her fate.
And given all the evidence against her, Lulu took a 20-year plea deal instead of going to trial. If she would have been facing life in prison. She is currently serving her time.